This right here, Nike, we need more of this. The Nike Pegasus line has been one of the most popular running shoes on the market for years now. And in 2025, they've given us this premium version, which really has me asking, is Nike back? We're gonna get into it in this video. I'll be reviewing the Nike Air Zoom Pegasus Premium. So this shoe, the Nike Air Zoom Pegasus Premium, it did retail for a price of $210 or 210 euros, which is a significant increase from your normal Nike Pegasus, the Pegasus 41 for example. But as you'll see in this video, I think these are well worth the price. The original colorway of this shoe was the Airscape pair, which actually completely sold out and was kind of hard to get. And this is the second colorway, which is the Black Bright Crimson, which has also sold out in most big sizes. And I think this colorway, this pair looks super tough. And I might not be the only one that thought this, but this colorway definitely reminded me of that Lil Nas X Air Max 97s from a couple of years ago. Yeah, those super limited pairs that apparently had human blood in it. That was an unofficial Nike shoe, but there has to be some kind of inspiration here for the colorway. Now I want to preface this video by saying that if you are a professional runner or someone who's really into running, well, this video is not meant to be a performance review. It is simply an everyday use or lifestyle review of the sneaker. You can definitely check on YouTube. There are some performance reviews out there. Let's start off first by talking about the box, which to me was definitely a bit of a disappointment, because if this is really your premium version of the Pegasus, well, it would have been nice to get a premium box, because we're just getting a very normal orange Nike box here. So what really drew me to the shoe was the look of it, especially that full length visible zoom on the midsole. I think that looks absolutely fire, and it definitely gives me a feeling of nostalgia. It reminded me of those Nike Air Max pairs from the 90s, like the Air Max 97s and the 98s, which definitely I think the silhouette is quite similar to those models. And they also featured the full length Air midsoles. Those Air Max models from the 90s, they are a huge part of sneaker culture, because it was one of the first times that we had sneakers which were actually meant to be running shoes, also being used as lifestyle sneakers. And since then, Nike has definitely improved technology-wise when it comes to their running models. We can talk about the Alpha Fly, the Vaporfly as well, but neither of those sneakers really translated towards lifestyle use. The React Elements kind of had a moment, but you can say for the most part, Nike has really failed to recreate the iconic nature of the Air Max models. But could this shoe be the one right here? Is this that exact combo Nike was trying to find, that perfect balance between performance and lifestyle? I think these have a pretty good chance. We're gonna start reviewing the shoe from the bottom up. Let's first have a look at this midsole. There's 3 layers to this. It's almost like a Nike tech sandwich here going on, because you got Zoom X, you got Air Zoom, as well as React X technology, 3 of Nike's best running technologies all in one shoe. And really on feet, you can really feel the difference. It doesn't simply just feel like a very squishy type of midsole. The React X, especially at the bottom, gives the shoe quite a bit of stability. It's a bit more firmer than the upper 2 layers. And then you have the Zoom X, which is this very cushiony feeling material. And then of course the Air Zoom, when you look through that visible air unit, you can see those columns collapsing with every step, and it does give you that really bouncy feeling. So I could pretty much describe this midsole as it feels soft, it feels bouncy and responsive, and also quite stable. And that is definitely thanks to the 3 different layers of technology they've used here. So it is a pretty innovative approach by Nike. I'm typically quite skeptical when I see shoes with midsoles this thick. When I think of other shoes with really big midsoles like Hoka Clifton 9s for example, I love those shoes for running, but I would not really want to use them for walking. I feel quite unstable in them, but that's really not the case with these. Moving on to the upper, have a look at the mesh used on the upper. So on the toe box, the mesh definitely has quite big holes in there. So there's quite a lot of ventilation on the shoe. You have this TPU layer, which is surrounding the entire upper of the shoe and kind of dividing the 2 different mesh layers. And this TPU layer, by the way, does have reflective 3M on it. The secondary mesh layer, which is underneath the TPU, shoe. That's a much tighter knit material, which is great. It makes the shoe more durable. And let's take a moment to talk about this chrome swoosh. I think that swoosh on this colorway just looks so hard. I'm typically a sucker for chrome anything on Nike sneakers. I even have the chrome Vomeros, but there's not too much chrome on this one, just on the swoosh, and I think it looks sick. You also have this little mini chrome swoosh on the back heel. One tiny little detail which I love is this Pegasus wings logo that you can see on this little pull tab on the heel. I know it's a small little detail, but I think it looks very cool. And on the tongue of the sneaker, there's an entirely different mesh as well with some really big holes. So definitely not a shoe that I would be wearing on a rainy day. Your feet are going to get soaked, but you can't complain about the ventilation on this shoe. There's a lot of it. For me, the biggest complaint about this shoe has to be the rather excessive branding on it. On the medial side of the shoe, on the inside, you see it says Zoom on the right pair and Air on the left, which I think is just a bit unnecessary and a bit of an overkill. But at least they put it on the inside of the shoe so it's not that loud. And you only get one pair of laces with the shoe, these thin flat style laces. Let's talk about sizing for a bit, because there are some other reviews of the shoe already online and people have been saying to go true to size. I did not pay attention to that because typically when it comes to Nike running models, I find them a bit narrow. So I did get this a half size up, got them in an 11.5. And for me, they're fitting just absolutely perfect. There's just the perfect amount of room in the toe box region, and the midfoot area doesn't feel too tight, but it doesn't feel too loose either. It really feels like the perfect fit for me. So if you can, I would suggest you guys to try these out for yourself. I would say if you have wide feet, 100% you want to go up half a size. I would describe my feet as being slightly on the wider side, just to give you a frame of reference. So I do go true to size in most Nike Air Max models, except the Air Max 95 and the 97s, where I go a half size up. I go a half size down in the Air Force One, and I fit true to size in most Jordan models. I do have questions about what exactly is the right market for this shoe, because by most definitions, it would be a bit too heavy to be called a pure performance running shoe. So I don't think people who are, let's say, training to run a marathon, this shoe is probably not gonna meet their needs. But I think if you are looking for a perfect everyday shoe that is super comfortable, that looks sick as well, I mean, the tech in here is way better than the 90s Air Max models. You can kind of describe this shoe as like a much more advanced version of an Air Max 97. An Air Max 97 for 2025, let's describe it as that. I think the look, the shape, the silhouette of the shoe is so nice. It's one of Nike's best new models I've seen in a very long time. Yeah, overall, I was not really expecting to like these shoes as much as I do, but these are great. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about the Nike Pegasus Premium? And if this was your first time on the channel, my name is Josh. I do sneaker reviews and all types of other sneaker content. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and give me a follow also on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active and posting content on there daily. And the links to my podcast can also be found in the description of this video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and for supporting my channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.